Hi, this is Lynn from Bypass to a Leaner Lynn coming at you with, believe it or not, my week 89 post op report. I know I have been missing for a hot minute. Um, and I know you're all thinking, well, it's because she's gained weight. Well, I'm doing fine in that aspect. Let me give you my stats first. I began this journey at my highest weight of 331 pounds. I began at the bariatric clinic that I used on in May of 2017. I had surgery on October 17th, 2017. My surgeon was Dr. David Carroll, and I had my surgery at Merit Health River Oaks Hospital in Flowood, Mississippi. The day of my surgery, I was 279 pounds, so I had lost 52 pounds from my beginning weight of 331 pounds. I now currently weigh, or I did this morning, I weighed 133.6 pounds for a total loss of 197.4 pounds and a loss of 145.4 pounds since surgery. I have pretty much fluctuated between I think the lowest I got down to was 126, and I did not want to be that low. Um, it's just been a matter of trying to get my calories adjusted to where they need to be for maintenance. Um, so really, I've maintained for since about, oh gosh, January, February, somewhere around there. I've been maintaining somewhere about 130 to 135 pounds. Um, Somewhere in there. Um, I would kind of like to be at 140, which would actually put me at above, I would put me back in the overweight category, but I really think I look better around there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. It's possible. My sister tells me I'm crazy. But at any rate, it's been kind of eventful since then. When I went for an appointment in January of this past year, and I think I reported on that in a previous video, but my nutritionist said to keep raising my calories by 100 until I started till I stopped losing weight. And I have gotten up to I run about 1,700 to 1,800 calories a day, and it's hard work, believe me, because my tummy just, I still don't eat a lot in one sitting, and so I feel like that's all I do all day long is eat, trying to get 1,800 calories, because if I get too much, too much, too less, fewer calories than that, then I tend to lose weight. And I don't, as I said, I really like where I'm at right now. I'm wearing mostly smalls, clothes wise. My pants still can be mediums or smalls, and that's fine. I've always been a little on the hippie side, and I don't imagine in my old age that that's going to change a whole lot. Um, it's been an eventful time, probably since I last updated. I have had some health problems. The first being back in January, February, I started experiencing some more back pain. And so I thought, well, I'll be proactive, and pursue another shot in my back, or an epidural shot is what they do. in order to keep that pain from coming back because I surely don't want to be on a walker again. So I did, and in it was the end of March, my pain management specialist did a shot in my back. In the first 24 hours, actually more than 24 hours, I was fine. No problems. And I had the shot on a Friday afternoon. Saturday night, I went to bed and I was fine, pain free, not a problem. I woke up Sunday morning in excruciating pain. It got so bad that, I wouldn't stop walking. I wasn't doing any more weight training because that just hurt more than I could handle. But I would not stop walking because I was afraid if I stopped walking and stopped, exercising, but, I pretty much walk for my exercise. I felt like if I stopped, it'd be like every other time that I've ever tried to lose weight, and that I would stop and then I wouldn't get back to exercising, and then I would gain weight again. And of course, I think I'm like a lot of us weight loss surgery folks. You know, I'm afraid of gaining weight again. And so I wouldn't stop walking, but it hurt. I mean, it seriously hurt to walk, even just a few feet. And it was apparently so obvious to those around me that they sicked the counselor at school after me. And she walked into my office and she said, "Lynn, what is wrong?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You're not your usual chipper self." And I said, "Oh, I've just been having some really horrific back pain and I don't know what's causing it. And I explained what had gone on. And so by this point in time, I had contacted the pain management office, and they had made an appointment, and I went in, and they did an x-ray of my back and to see if they could figure out what was going on. They put me on a medicine for nerve pain called gabapentin, or yeah, gabapentin, and then ordered MRIs trying to figure out where the pain was coming from, you know, and I think they finally figured out that maybe in my sleep that one night, I have a lot of arthritis in my facet joints in that same area that I had the bad disc, and that I may have twisted funny and kind of pinched a nerve or something. But they were going to do some injections in the facet joints to try to alleviate the pain. Fortunately, hey, don't look at my extra loose skin. I've got plenty of it. Uh, but at any rate, the pain got better, and by the time I got to about a week out from when I was scheduled for the shot, I really wasn't in any real pain. And so I talked to my PCP and I talked to the nurse at school, and they both said, "Lynn, the shot isn't a fix for a bad back problem. It's just symptomatic relief. And if you're not having any symptoms, then the shot is pointless." And so I canceled the back injection. And I've been fine since. And I still don't know what caused all of that. Um, but it's better, praise the Lord. I did take off from doing weight training and finally introduced it back into my regime where I was doing some weight training twice a week and was doing really well with that, and walking and getting at least 10,000 steps in every day, 5 days a week. Um, But in February, and they're not related, I started feeling super, super fatigued, just really, really, really tired. And I had talked to my PCP like back in September or so because I do have a very slow heart rate. And he said, "Well, are you having dizziness or anything?" And I said, "No, I feel fine. I'm just, concerned because it's so low." And he said, "Well, the fix for a too slow heart rate is a pacemaker, but if you're not having any symptoms, then you probably don't need to do anything." Well, when I started having all the fatigue and everything, and I was getting dizzy, I kind of checked into it, and it was some of the symptoms of a too slow heart rate is fatigue and dizziness. And so I contacted my PCP, and he ordered a heart monitor for 24 hours, and he looked at it and he said that could cause your symptoms. He said it wasn't just real slow, but it probably needs to be explored. And so he referred me to a cardiologist, and I went back to the cardiologist that I saw before I had my gastric bypass. And I had to go to a cardiologist because of the history of cardiology of cardiac problems that my family has. I've always said that our modus operandi for dying in our family is heart attacks and heart disease and stroke. We don't get cancer or anything like that. We just drop dead of heart attacks. What can I say? That's that's how we do it. That's how we die. So at any rate, and I'm going to have to blow my nose, and I am sorry, but it's got to be done. That's another problem I'm having, and I'll explain that after I get done with this. Good golly, this video is going to be 100 years long. But at any rate, so I went to see the cardiologist, and he said I looked at the heart monitor information that your doctor ordered, that your PCP ordered, and right now I don't see any reason to think you need a pacemaker, but I do want you to have a heart monitor, wear a heart monitor for 30 days. And this one was different than the first one. The first one, I had all sorts of wires and everything in it. Golly, if I had to do that for 30 days, I think I'd have had to tell them to forget that because it was a pain in the bahootie. But at any rate, it was like this thing that stuck on your chest, and then you had to wear a cell phone that transmitted the data to the heart monitor people, and I had to wear that for 30 days. And I sent all the stuff back, and I never heard anything, so I figured it must be okay. And then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks after I sent it back in, I got a call from the cardiologist office, and they said we need to make you an appointment to see a Dr. Colley. Dr. Young wants you to see a Dr. Colley about a pacemaker, and I was like, "What? Excuse me? Um, uh, what are you talking about?" And they said, "Well, Dr. Young, wants you to see Dr. Colley about a pacemaker." And so apparently he had seen enough in that one that he thought, I might need to consult a Dr. Colley who is a cardiologist and an electrophysiologist. In other words, he puts in pacemakers. And Dr. Colley said, your heart rate isn't just super, super slow like, some people that we do pacemakers on, but you're symptomatic, and that's the problem. Is he said you're having dizzy spells and you're fatigued and you're having heart palpitations and things like that. And so, we could maybe wait for a while to do a pacemaker, but I guarantee from what you're telling me now that in a year, 2 years max, you're gonna have to have a pacemaker, whether you want one or not. And he said, it's your decision. But I would really advise that you get the pacemaker now so that you'll feel better. And so on June 20th, I had a pacemaker put in. And so now I'm not allowed to do any weight training until August, but I am allowed to walk and stuff. But I even have a housekeeping excuse. They told me no vacuuming, no sweeping for 6 weeks. And I'm like, well, who knew that could ever happen? But I guess their fear is that I'll pull those leads from my heart before they have a chance to really heal into my heart or something. I can't raise my hand above my head. Um, Things like that. So that's where I'm at now. Now, the nose blowing thing. In the meantime, for the last 3 months, I've had a sinus infection. I have had 3 rounds of antibiotics, a shot of Rocephin, 2 rounds of prednisone. That was just for my PCP. I had 2 IV antibiotics while I had to stay overnight in the hospital after the pacemaker was put in, which by the way was a lot more painful than I thought. I'm going to go back to that. I will come back to that thing. But at any rate, I'm sorry, I'm also coughing a lot. Um, but at any rate, then I got this knot on my throat that kind of worried me. So I went back to see my PCP, and he said he thought it was just a swollen lymph node, and it's gone now, but he did make me an appointment to see the ENT, and I saw him Monday. Well, he numbed my I swear that's what ENTs do. They numb you up a lot. Because the last time I went to see an ENT, they had to look down my throat and he numbed me up. But that being neither here nor there, and I'm getting hoarse. But at any rate, he numbed my sinuses up and then looked at them and he said, they're looking pretty junky. I'm going to do a swab and everything, and we're going to send that in and see what you're growing. And I thought, oh, good. Now, I'm like a potted plant. I grow things. Who knew that you could grow things in your nose? But apparently, I am. And he said it could be that they just need to find the right medicine to address the particular bacteria that I'm growing, or they may have to do sinus surgery. And I'm like, oh, good. The dirty S word, surgery. Oh, I think I've had enough of that, more than enough. Now, back to the. So that's in my future. He's supposed to be, they're culturing that to find out what I'm growing. And he said he would be contacting me with the results so they would know better how to treat the problem. In the meantime, I'm having to do a sinus rinse twice a day. Oh, that's really a lot of fun, believe me. I'm having to keep track. I've got to be somewhere at 5:30, and I've already been doing this for almost 20 minutes. But back to the pacemaker. When the nurse talked to me when we were scheduling the pacemaker, she sat there, and she said, and she was telling me, what to expect. And she said, and Dr. Colley will send you home with some pain medicine. And I said, what kind of pain medicine? Because, you always want to know what kind of pain medicine. And I figured she'd say Tylenol 3 or, Tylenol with codeine. Tylenol, extra strength, something. She said Percocet, and that's oxycodone, which is not, it's not Demerol or morphine, but it's a pretty high level painkiller. And I couldn't help but thinking, good gravy, that's a lot of painkiller for just a little incision. Whew, it hurt. I stayed in pain, and a lot more pain than I thought I would, for longer than I thought I would. It still kind of hurts. I had to buy something to wear on my seat belt to kind of cover up where that pacemaker is, because it bothers the seat belt bothers the pacemaker, makes it kind of sore. And I kind of wondered, and then I thought, well, they do cut into that muscle wall, and then they stick something in and stretch it out, because the pacemaker is bigger than I thought it would be. Um, so, huh, who knew? Well, that's really all I've got to talk about. Things are going well food wise. Like I said, I'm eating about 1,800 calories a day. Um, I figured I'd start trying to be a little bit more regular, doing some some videos. I'm going to try to figure out how to edit videos so that I could do it what I eat in a day kind of thing, and maybe some grocery hauls and my favorites and things like that. And that's mostly, I was telling somebody just before I came and decided to do a video, because I admitted to being a bad girl about not doing videos. But I just, we all get to that point where we hit maintenance, and then we leave YouTube. And I know a lot of us assume that when somebody quits making videos, it's because they're struggling or regaining, and they don't want to come on and admit that they're regaining. And in my case, that wasn't the case. It's just I got busy and had some health problems, and I just really didn't have time to record videos. And the thing is if I try to upload at home, which I will now. Oh, that's my other news. I am officially a retired old person. I did summer school, and my last day was the 29th of June, and I will be working no more. I will watch everybody go back to school on August 1st, and I'm going to wake up at 9 o'clock and say, better you than me. Oh, golly. But at any rate, as I just went adrift, I know. Squirrels, as some would say, squirrels. But at any rate, I figure maybe what some people need to hear isn't so much what to expect right after surgery, or what to expect 6 months after surgery, or hear how much I've lost, which I'll keep letting you know how I'm doing weight wise. But I thought, we don't, we go into that stage where we're in maintenance, and it's a new journey. It really is. It's been a real mind blast for me. I mean, I don't remember a time when I didn't think that think about one of my goals being to lose weight. And it isn't to lose weight anymore. To maintain weight, yes. To be healthier, yes. But I don't need to lose weight anymore. And and then in the back of all of that is there's this fear of, what if I regain? What if I go back to where I was? And it's not easy. Maintenance is probably as hard, if not harder, than that honeymoon time after our surgery when we lose easily. Now I watch the scale and I dread, I would like to weigh 140 pounds, but when I hit 134, I start to panic. I'm like, oh, I'm gaining weight, and it's just different. It really is. So I thought maybe some of us need to stay on and tell you about maintenance and what works for maintenance and what isn't working for maintenance. Um, so I'm going to try to be a lot more faithful about posting videos. I love all of you. Just have a very blessed day. And thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Hit the like button because everybody likes to be liked. Don't hit the dislike button because that would be sad. I would make me sad. And we don't want to make Lynn sad because Lynn doesn't like being sad. hit the hit that bell thing so that if I post a video, we'll try to be a little more regular about that. And I just love all of you, and I wish all of you so many blessings. And if you're still trying to lose weight, I wish you more weight loss, or as we say in Weight Watchers, I hope to see less of you next week. And you just all be blessed. Bye.